This episode is brought to you by 5 Gum. 5 Gum is for the 5 seconds when your heart starts pounding, you feel your hair stand on end, and the adrenaline rushes through your veins. Available in a range of bold flavors, 5 Gum helps you lean into the thrill of the unknown. Escape your comfort zone with 5 Gum. Life happens in 5. Learn more at 5gum.com.
This episode is brought to you by Starry. When you drink Starry Lemon Lime Soda, every sip is a win. Perfect for game time or anytime. It's a crisp, refreshing lemon lime soda that's caffeine-free and bursting with flavor that makes you go, ah. Starry hits different. Find it in stores or online today.
And hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
I nearly said extra myself for the first time ever then.
That would have been funny.
Ruined it.
That would have thrown me.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm all right. I've had a bit of a day.
Oh my lord. Before you tell me about your bit of a day, I'm going to say my name is Dave. Hi.
Hello, Dave.
And he hello. And his name is Rich.
Hello.
Hello, Rich. Sometimes I forget that we have to introduce ourselves to new listeners.
Yeah, this is true. We do need to do this.
And we have to act like pros. Because we are now.
Are we? I
No,
think we're
not at all.
enthusiastic amateurs.
I'll take that. I think that's better what other people call us. Rich, what are we doing this week?
We are doing a nice little review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, something that both me and you have been looking forward to.
I've been looking forward to this more than most other films, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely more than Morbius last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And The Secrets of Dumbledore, which we're reviewing next week.
Yeah.
And most other films, to be honest. But how was your experience? Do you want to dive into that straight away?
Okay. I've had a complicated day, so I watched this today. Okay, so we're recording on a Wednesday, I got the day off work because it's Easter holidays, and I'm taking my little boy to watch it at the cinema. He loves Sonic. He was very, very excited about going to watch it. Now, my little boy is autistic, and so he has some kind of like sensory overload stuff. But the cinema he really likes. The problem is that I got my timing slightly wrong, because what we have to do with the cinema is we have to get there before the lights go down and before anything goes on the screen. Otherwise, he absolutely freaks out.
Okay.
I didn't realise that he was going to completely freak out until today. So normally, when we've been to the cinema before, we've always got nice and early. We've got in our seats before anything started. The lights go down, then the screen comes up, and he kind of accepts it, and it's all fine. I also made a mistake that I booked an iSense showing rather than a normal showing, so it's like extra loud and extra big and extra blurry. And essentially, we got to the cinema, we got all our snacks, he'd chosen all his pick and mix, he was really happy. I'd given him my phone so he could let the girl on the thing scan our ticket, and he was all happy. And then just as I opened the door, he said, "I'm feeling a bit nervous." And we got to the unit, get that little like airlock bit, and I opened the second door, and he just flipped. He saw the dark and the screen, and it was an advert with Kevin Bacon on it, and he just lost his mind and ran away. He just ran out the screen, and I had to chase him into the lobby. All the time, like balancing pick and mix and popcorn and cokes, and trying to catch him at the same time. And this is what happens when kids have autism: is that they get this kind of sensory overload, and his way of dealing with that sensory overload is just to get the hell out of there. And so that's what he did, and he was just not going back in. Which is a real shame because he would have absolutely
He would have loved it.
Yeah, he would really have loved it. But I have to say, I need to write to the Odeon or tweet the Odeon or something, because the member of staff who was out collecting tickets was amazing. She was so good. She was so understanding, so happy to help, so calm and collected. She was brilliant, and I couldn't praise her enough. She did an amazing job. I didn't get her name, and I wish I had, because I'm going to speak to her manager and tell him what an amazing job she did. In fact, I might even tweet the CEO of Odeon and say, because she was outstanding. And she offered to take us in a different way so that we could go into the back of the cinema instead of the front, so we didn't have to go past the screen. It did. None of this worked, but it was amazing that she did all this stuff. And yeah, it's just one of those things. And she also said that she'd refund our tickets, but at that point I was still kind of thinking I might have got him back in. And also I have a limitless thing, so I could go. I didn't pay for a ticket anyway. But yeah, so it's just a real shame. But we had all our cinema snacks, and I took him to the toy shop and bought him a toy, and that kind of cheered him up a little bit. And then we came home and watched Moana instead on the TV, and he was very happy. Not a bad second option. Yeah, so he's not had too bad a day. But what then I've had to do is at 5:30 I had to go back to the cinema and watch Sonic 2 so I could do it for this podcast. So I've been to Milton Keynes 3 times today, because also the toy we bought from the toy shop was broken, so we had to take it back. So I've been to Milton Keynes, which is about a 20-minute journey from where we live, 3 times today.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry that happened. I get it though, because I get anxious if I'm not there at a certain time. Do you know if they're going to do an autistic friendly screening of this?
They might do. I'll keep an eye out for it. I don't know.
They do them, don't they? Because they keep the lights up and they turn the sounds down.
They're normally quite long into the release, after the release date. So yeah, so it might be a little while. He might be back at school by then, unfortunately. But I'll keep an eye out for it. I don't think he'll want to go again. I think he's freaked himself out too much now, and he'll be scared, unfortunately. So, but we'll see. Maybe in 6 months' time or something, he might kind of be up for it again. We'll see how it goes.
Well, yeah. If there's any other parents listening that have gone through this and help Rich out with advice,
I mean, by all means, I'll take anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know him, and it's all my fault. I should have, if I'd have got us there 10 minutes earlier, wouldn't have been a problem. It's just that thing, and it's not him. Sometimes people are going to see it and think, "Oh God, that kid's having a horrible tantrum." It's not a tantrum. He's just completely sensory overloaded, and he can't process it as quickly as everyone else can. That's the main thing. It just kind of really scares him, and that's what it is. And that's why it was so nice to have someone working there who kind of seemingly understood what was going on, because she didn't there was no kind of pressure or anything from her. She was just very willing to help and, gave him space when he needed it. So I can't praise her enough. Milton Keynes Odeon, whoever you were doing the tickets, you are an absolute superstar.
Oh, was she there when you went back?
No, she wasn't. I did look, but no. I mean, it was 10 o'clock this morning that we went, and then it was 5:30 that I went back. So I would hope she'd have finished her shift by then.
Imagine if someone's doing a double shift and seeing you going twice to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Twice. The first time with a little boy, and second time on my own.
Big Sonic fan.
Yeah. I did feel very weird going to watch it on my own in a cinema absolutely rammed full of kids. It was full. I had to book the posh gallery seats because I couldn't get a normal seat. It was absolutely rammed.
Did you take more snacks with you, or did you take the ones you had earlier?
No, I didn't. We had our snacks when we watched Moana.
Okay.
So no, I didn't take any with me. I just kind of went and just sat there and watched.
Were you shocked to find out it was 2 hours long? I
was a bit, yeah. I was expecting to be back it's 9:15 that we're recording this podcast. I said to you, we'll jump on at 8. It ain't finished.
It just kept on going, didn't it?
Yeah.
Just kept on.
And I think actually, I think there's good things and bad things to say, and I think that links into one of the bad things, the fact that it's 2 hours and 2 minutes long.
Yeah. Do you want to give people the plot?
Yeah.
Don't think you're going to get away with that.
You're not going to... I mean, unless you've seen the first Sonic movie, this is going to make no sense. But essentially, shortly after... I'm not sure how long after, but not long after the events of the first movie, Sonic is sort of a Batman-style superhero, or trying to be.
He wants to be.
Yeah, he wants to be, but he's cocking it up quite a lot. And there's a nice heartfelt thing where, you know, he has that with great power comes great responsibility conversation with James Marsden, who's his surrogate dad, essentially. Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, is stuck on a mushroom planet, and there's some nice scenes of him trying to get off the mushroom planet, to a point where we're introduced to some new characters. Although if you've played the video games, you'll recognise them. We have Tails, who is a two-tailed flying fox, and Knuckles, who is an alien thing.
I think he's also a hedgehog, isn't he?
No,
just a different.
I think he's I'm going to say it wrong. I think an Enchinda, or so I don't know. Anyway, not a hedgehog, but you know, they say
I've learned
something
new today.
else, don't they? An Anchida or something like that. Not an anteater, but it sounds like that. Yeah, so introduced to Knuckles. Knuckles basically wants to get this emerald, which is the Chaos Emerald that you would have recognised if you played the games as well. And so he kind of teams up with Robotnik, and they set off to try and get this Chaos Emerald, while Sonic and Tails also trying to get their hands on it. And yeah, hilarity ensues.
Well, lovely plot. And you're a big fan of the first one?
I do. I really like the first one. I was really surprised by the first one, actually. I wasn't expecting much of it. You know, it's certainly a return to form for Jim Carrey. And yeah, I really like the first one. So yeah, it's quite. I remember
I went to the press screening of Sonic, the original one, and it annoyed me afterwards when the reviews came out and people thought it was like Godfather Part 2. They forgot it was like it's just a fun family kids film.
Exactly, it's a
which
kids
is based
film,
on a computer game.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, blah 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 blah.
And this is also a fun family kids film. You know, it's a real shame that George didn't get to manage to watch it, because he would have absolutely loved it.
There's a lot there.
He would
it's
really
very colourful.
have enjoyed it, because he likes the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoons on Netflix as well that have got Tails and Knuckles in. So he knows all their kind of story and stuff.
And their powers, probably.
Yeah, and their powers. Yeah, he's well up on that. But yeah, I think there's some really good stuff, actually. You know, some really good kind of cartoony action stuff that harks back to the games really nicely.
There are some nice nods.
There are some really nice nods. And I think Tails is great. I think they absolutely nailed Tails. I think it's who is it? Colleen O'Shaughnessy, I think. Is that right?
Yes. I don't know, but I'm going to agree with you.
He just does a great job as Tails. I think it's really good. Knuckles
and Idris Elba as Knuckles not work for you?
Not quite so good for me. I don't know. It felt a bit odd sometimes. I don't know. I don't think Idris is quite a voice actor. You know,
he's done enough of it though.
Yeah, has it? What else has he done? He's done Sing and Sing 2, but only quite small parts. Zootopia again, quite a small
Zootropolis, what country you're from.
Wherever you're from. Again, quite a relatively small part though, isn't it? Whereas this is kind of the main antagonist. And I don't know, it just felt a bit flat. I don't know how you felt about that, Dave. What do you think of Knuckles?
I enjoyed his performance as Knuckles. I was just happy that Knuckles was in there, because I'm a big fan of the Sonic and Knuckles game. I used to be Knuckles quite often instead of Sonic.
Yeah.
In the game, and Jim Carrey, who is just insane.
I just think not enough. I don't think we had enough Jim Carrey. Actually, I could have had a lot more. I'd taken a lot more Jim Carrey. Actually, I think and by the time we got a bit more of him, I think it was kind of I don't know, hamstrung by being essentially a face in CGI.
I was about to say, yeah, a lot of CGI heavy stuff at the
I
end.
could take a lot more of Jim Carrey trying to escape a mushroom planet and not succeeding. That would have been funny. If we could got a few more failed attempts of getting off that planet. But
I love the fact that this is a way for kids to be introduced to Jim Carrey, so you can slowly start with your age. Like, this is Jim Carrey,
yeah,
and then in a few years we're going to go to Ace Ventura and the Mask, and then we go to Liar Liar, and then we'll end up with Dumb and Dumber, and then some point you think he can also act, guys. Here's the Truman Show,
here's
and
Man on
Eternal
the Moon.
Spot. Yeah,
Eternal Sunshine. Yeah, well, one day.
He has said he's going to retire now, so we might not get a.
Oh, really? Well, I think there's definitely going to be a Sonic 3. I think they're already working on it.
Yep. And did you stay around for the credits?
I stayed around for the mid credits.
I think that's the only one.
Okay, good. I didn't stay for the end of the credits because it was late.
2 hours, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So negative, right?
A bit long and a bit flabby, I think. There's a whole kind of wedding scene, which I think it could have just done without, really.
Oh, that could have gone. That was a lot of that.
Just didn't need any of that. It was just a way of kind of getting James Marsden and is it Tiki Sumpter, I think?
I'm going to say yes again because you know how bad I am.
Tika Sumpter, maybe.
It's the aunt, isn't it? Not. Marsden and that relationship, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
It was the sister of the
auntie
and this weird
guy. Yeah.
Guy
could have just done with dropping all of that kind of FBI stuff. You didn't need any of that, really.
Yeah.
I think you could have just got rid of all that, saved yourself half an hour, and it would have been a lovely 90-minute movie, and everyone would have come out happy. I think, drop that whole kind of Hawaiian nonsense. Don't need any of that.
They had to get them to the ocean somehow, though, Rich.
Yeah, true, I suppose, but he's got transportable rings, so just there's lots of ways of doing it. There's all kinds of things you could have got rid of. But yeah, I think some of the jokes were a bit on the nose, bit kind of here's a thing you might remember.
the pop culture references.
All the previous game references and stuff, I guess. Which some of them are nice. I quite liked James Marsden's phone ringing and it being the original Sonic music once, but not twice. We didn't need it twice. And then things like the dance off in the Russian bar. I felt like that was very much done. I think some of those comedy elements didn't kind of work, and I think where the film really did work was the kind of the more sentimental kind of, the feels, the heart. Which
is weirdly where a lot of these animated films and kids' films really fail.
It's very hard to make you really feel for an animated hedgehog, a blue animated hedgehog, but you do. And
we should mention Ben Schwartz as the voice.
Ben Schwartz is great, and I think that's probably that's the best bit about the movie, isn't it? Really, is that the first movie was about kind of an abandoned, orphaned, lost Sonic finding his family, and then this one was about Sonic who's found his family but needs to find his friends. And this was about him finding his group of friends essentially, and them being kind of lost, abandoned. Orphaned as well, and they're all being kind of creating this ragtag group.
But that takes away the bit of the first film that was so good, which was Sonic and Marsden's character.
Yeah.
And in this, they're taken apart for probably an hour
of the movie,
most of the film,
which is a shame because when they're together, they're very good.
Yeah, Marsden's been very good at that.
There's a weird bit in the wedding scene. I just want to go back to it where James Marsden's playing volleyball against the groom and his groomsmen, and they're all shirts off and all ripped and stuff. And I was like, this doesn't work because he's fucking Cyclops. like he's got a 6-pack. He's fully ripped. Like it's like you're like pretending that he's not. Like this would work if he was Richard Ayoade, but he's not.
James Marsden's quite a good-looking fella.
Yeah, he's a damn good-looking man.
Yeah, that joke missed.
That was the example of a kind of a joke kind of landing flat. And I think all the jokes with Jim Carrey's assistant and stuff, I think they were all a bit kind of just
again maybe could have lost that.
Could have lost all that. Yeah, it didn't need any of that. I think it's a 90-minute movie that's stretched to 2 hours basically for no reason.
But it was fun.
It was fun, definitely. It was fun, and I definitely enjoyed it. And some of the interaction of like I say, the Sonic and James Marsden, I think that's quite good. And the big ending, I really liked that. That kind of like, yeah, that was nice.
I liked the bank heist at the beginning. I thought that was a lot of fun.
The bank heist is very good. I agree with you, Dave. It's great.
Do you know what I really liked seeing when they were on the red plane together? That was a good nod to the games.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, there were lots of nice nods to the games, actually. I think.
Do you remember when Sonic games were good?
I do. Well, in fact, actually, I don't have to remember because I've put them all on my son's Switch, so he plays them quite a lot. He's very much into them, but he's telling me at great length today about how difficult they are because if you die, you have to go back to the start. And I was like, "This is what games were like in the 90s." You don't know you're born with your saves and stuff.
God, I've still never seen the end of Golden Axe.
Oh God, no.
One day. I do like that at the beginning. There's the Sega logo comes up and it shows you all the other games, and you think like what the films they could do with Sega.
Yeah,
I would like a Golden Axe film.
Yeah, I'd quite like a Golden Axe film.
I think that would work. You got 3 characters. You got the dwarf character. You got the He-Man kind of character, and then you had the hot chick.
Yeah,
I think it would work.
Would that be
Streets of Rage movie?
Rage movie. Something that the sequelizers guys have been talking about is like a decent Tekken movie. I think we're
Has there been a Tekken movie?
I think there was an attempt, wasn't there?
I don't know.
But it was. I don't actually know. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat. Actually,
Mortal Kombat's been a couple. Dead or Alive. I think we need truly awful film.
We need a Tekken movie.
Street Fighter
Tekken movie. Oh yeah,
Street Fighter.
Yeah. Historically, like video game movies have been historically bad, and Sonic kind of bucks that trend. I'm thinking of like Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, ouch! Yeah. It surprised me they took this long to get to Sonic, to be honest.
Well, again, probably because it was so impossible to make until this point. You know?
CGI. Yeah,
the CGI had to catch up. And
did you think this one CGI was all good?
No. I think
good.
I think there were points where it was good, and I think there were points where it was really quite bad. But at the points where it was bad, I think I was probably past the point of caring at that point. I was just enjoying myself. So the points where it's really bad, I think, is where it's Jim Carrey, like just surrounded by CGI, and it's just him on his own. And I think they're the bits where it just looks really shonky. But I also think by those points, I was just like, I'm having fun. I can let it go.
Yeah, in the essence, it's a kids' movie, isn't it? It's not trying to win you over. There are jokes for the adults in it, and you will enjoy it taking your kids to it. I think.
Oh, it's one that you, as a parent, you can take your kids to, and not want to like hit your head with a hammer like halfway through, like Paw Patrol movie or something like that. But
yeah, you can watch it on loop a few times. You know what kids are like. They're like, get to the end, like, let's go again.
Yeah, my son is definitely like that. If he likes something like Sing 2, which we had to watch 3 times in a row.
It's not bad. They're good tunes. Let's move on to the 2 questions. We'll rate it, and we'll ask the big unequal sequel question. What is your rating, and is it an unequal sequel?
I think it's a pretty equal sequel, to be fair. I'd put it on a footing with the first one. I think the first one wasn't perfect, but I think it was good and surprising. And I I think this is sort of in the same category. I guess, like we've already said, what was missing for this was the relationship between Sonic and James Marsden's Donut Lord.
Still makes me laugh.
I sort of missed that a little bit. But yeah, overall, I think it's a nice movie that works in the same way as the first one does. And maybe the third one will push the envelope a little bit more, and we'll end up with something really good. I don't know. I've got my fingers crossed for that. I've just got a feeling the third one's going to be really good.
Okay. Rating?
I would say 4.5. Like, not perfect.
Out of 7.
Out of 7, yeah, 4.5 out of 7. Not perfect, but also pretty good. Yeah.
For me, it is what it says it was on the tin. I'm not going to rate it as like it's a Oscar bait winning film or that kind of film, or even a decent film. I enjoyed it. I think it's on par with the first one. There's no way you can't not sit there and just smile through it. My only problem is the length. Talking from an adult point of view,
too long, but very obviously too long in places as well. There's flab you could easily cut.
Easily. I would go for a 4 out of 7. I think by the end of the year we'll look very favourably on Sonic 2 compared to some of the other films I think we'll have to be watching. I'd rather sit through this than watch Morbius
the end of the month,
again.
I think it's probably the best film we're going to watch this month. Let's not lie.
Best sequel. Let's not say films.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, best sequel. Yeah, because I've watched some. Yeah, watching some other movies. So that's good.
Cool. That's it. I think that's a recommendation for me, Rich.
Yeah, I think so. Especially if you're a parent and you want to take your kids. It's a really good movie for kids, and yeah. I'm sure you won't hate it. Yeah, so if you liked the review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and you want to listen to more of our review episodes, then do go back and catch our extra episodes where we've done loads of reviews. We also have our monthly sum-ups where we talk about other movies that aren't sequels too. But also, we've got our brilliant interview episodes. And you can go back and listen to season 1 and season 2 of those. And we've got people like Sean Walsh and Nick Helm and Helen O'Hara. And we've got loads of really brilliant people for you to go and listen to. We've also got season 3 of our interview episodes coming in like 2 weeks. It's not far away now. The 25th of April, we are kicking off with, I think, one of my favourite guests ever. We've had some really brilliant guests. And so that is high praise, I reckon. One of my absolute favourite ones to record. Someone I really, really love. So yeah, make sure you check in for season 3. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us a little heart, whatever it is you do on your pod shop of choice. Give us a follow, and that way you'll always get the newest episode of this little pod dropping in, and you won't have to worry about finding it. Also, you can follow us on Twitter. We're at Unequal Sequel. You can follow us on Instagram at Unequal Sequel. And I don't know why you'd want to do it, but we've got an email address as well, which is unequalsequel@hotmail.com. And that's it.
Bravo, sir. Bravo. I'd just like to add thank you for listening. If you have been listening over the last 11 weeks, or something like that.
It's been a while since we had our this inter-season seems to have gone on for a while, hasn't it?
Well, both of us have been ill again.
Yeah, true.
And it is the difficult third album. So, I I'm editing that episode you were just talking about, and there is a story in it that I've just finished, which might be one of my favourites for like 3 seasons. It's incredible. It's so funny. Thank you. We'll be back next week, hopefully with the Secrets of Dumbledore review, which Rich can't wait to see. Spoiler, I've seen it. No, that's not. That was your. I've seen it.
I don't want to watch it, but I will because I'm dedicated to the cause.
Yes, and that's a thank you from me. And a thank you from him and a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
I'll see you later. Have a good week. Bye.